Hey guys, welcome to Proud Animator. In this video, we are going to learn how to animate a walk cycle in this view in After Effects with Rubber Hose 2 plugin. So for that, this is the illustration we are going to use in this lesson, and this is how I have separated the layers in Adobe Illustrator to prepare the file for animation. Okay, so now let's jump on to After Effects. So now we are going to start with the animation of the foot. Okay, so let's select the foot layers and let's solo it out. So say that we have two separate layers for foot. One is toe and one is heel. We are going to convert this layer into shape layer. And let's delete this illustration layers. So we are going to move the anchor point of this toe layer and put it at exactly at this corner. Let's select this heel and also do the same. Okay, now let's parent toe with heel. So let's bring in the ruler and put a ruler over here to keep in track of the ground. So now select the heel, open the position property, put a keyframe, then jump on to next 30 frames. Remember, I am in 30 frames per second. So we are going to bring the work area end over here and put a keyframe at this point. Select both the keyframes and let's move it over here. This will be one contact pose. After that, we are going to jump on to next 15 frames. Select this layer and bring it backwards. So this is another contact pose. Let's erase it. Alright, so from this point, we are going to jump on to next 8 frames. And let's bring in and just move this layer a bit above like this. Also select this layer and open the rotation property. For that, press R. U to open the properties with keyframes. We are going to put keyframes and rotations as well. Same with toe. We are only going to put keyframes on the rotation on toe. At this point, we are going to rotate it this side and slightly rotate it this side as well. Alright, for the contact pose, we are going to rotate it in this side a bit and also manage the ground layer and try to put it above the ground. And copy this initial frame at this last frame. Do the same with this heel as well at this contact 2 pose, but this time around we are going to rotate the toe in this side. Alright, select all the keyframes and erase it. Let's check it now. Select these keyframes and convert it into roving keyframe. For that, select the keyframes, press and hold the Control key in the keyboard and double click on it. Alright, okay, so now we are going to add some more in between keyframes. So from this point, let's jump on to next 3 frame and give it rotation of 0. Here also 0. And let's adjust the position. So till this point, let's give the rotation 0 and this rotation 0 as well. Alright, and then we are going to curve the motion path a bit like this. So now let's check our animation. Yeah, this one is looking better. So the foot animation is done. Now we are going to morph the shapes a bit to get the lower portion view of the shoe, because when the character walks in this view, we can see a slight bottom portion of the shoe as well. So let's put path property keyframes, jump onto the next contact pose and do the same. At this passing pose, we are going to make the edges a bit curved. So let's do that. Alright, now again let's jump on to next 3 frame and let's copy this path keyframe and paste it over here. Let's give it 0 degree of rotation as well. And after that, let's jump on to this end keyframe, this last contact pose, and let's curve this edge a bit in the opposite side. Alright, now again pick a pen tool. Let's make a oval type shape. Let's select this shape and put it below the hill. Let's name it and let's change the path a bit. Alright, so put a keyframe on the path at this point. Let's jump on to this point and put a keyframe again. And till this point, we are going to add some in-between keyframes. Let's start with this one and let's fix it. So at this point, we are going to exactly flatten this whole shape so that this bottom portion will not be visible at this point. Okay. Now we are going to jump onto the initial position, put a keyframe. Let's copy this keyframe and paste it over here. Same with the other path properties, copy it and paste it at this initial point. And then again jump on to the next 3 keyframes and copy and paste the neutral pose, the neutral path position. So let's add few in between keyframes over here. Alright, now open the opacity of this layer, put a keyframe over here. At this point, we are going to put another keyframe for opacity. Let's give it 0%. Now from here again give it 100%, and at this point again give it 100%. And after that we are going to change the keyframes to hold keyframes. So at this, throughout the region, this foot layer's opacity is completely 0, and after that when it crosses this point it again gets to 100%. Now we are going to add some loop expression to this keyframes, but for that let's check out the animation. Yeah, it's looking pretty nice, but I think we can fix up the position here a bit, so let's do that. Alright, let's check our animation. Yeah, this is looking better. Okay, so now we are going to add loop expressions. So let's add the loop expression. Copy this loop expression and paste it in the rotation as well, and this rotation as well. So for the path property, this loop expression doesn't work. So for that, we are going to use another expression. So I'm going to give it in the description, so which is this one, and let's paste this expression in the path property. Okay, copy this loop expression and paste it in the opacity as well. Right now the loop expressions are implemented in this layers. Right now let's select this layer and copy and paste it over here and duplicate the layers once again. Press U to open the key properties with keyframes, and let's offset it by 12 frames. Or rather, I would like to move it forward a bit because the path properties doesn't look, the expression that I have used in path properties doesn't look the portion of the animation before the keyframe. So it's better to move it at this point. Let's check the animation. Yeah, it's looking pretty nice now. Okay, as both the foot animations are done, so now turn on the rubber hose to plugin and we are going to add the limbs for legs. So let's name it leg 1 and let's select the start and end and add a limb, or add a hose over here, and select this layer, this hose layer, and apply a style. This underscore tapered hose, apply it, and let's just change the settings a bit. Let's solo the hose with this layer, and let's try to match the strokes with this one. So we are going to select this color for fill and then unsolo the layer, and let's hide this layer. Select the end and put it over the leg 1, the foot 1. So basically this one, let's solo it. Okay, let's reposition the body and the other layers a bit before jumping on to the next pose. So we are going to move it exactly at the midpoint of this particular animation. And let's try to adjust it over here. Alright, so select this ant layer and parent it with hill. Sorry, not this one, this hill. So let's check out. Alright, we are going to decrease the length a bit. Alright, now we are going to select this layers, this hoses. Go to manage and duplicate the layers. Put it below this foot toe. Select the hose and solo it with the toe layers. And put it over here. Parent this one with this hill 3. Alright, so now let's select this hose and change the color to this one. Also move the start point to somewhere around here. Let's delete leg to layer now. Alright, so we can also delete this foot as well. So now let's select the hip layer, parent, and first of all move the anchor point and put it over here. Select body layer and put the anchor point over here. Parent body with hip, neck layer, put the anchor point over here, and parent neck with body. After that, move the anchor point of the head and put it over here. Parent head with neck. And this arm one and hand one. We are going to add limbs later on. So let's select the start points of both the legs and parent it with hip. Right now, if we move the hip, everything is moving together. So we are basically going to move it over here again and put it exactly at the middle. Alright, now put a position on put a keyframe on position, put a keyframe and put a keyframe on rotation. After that, jump onto this pose, put a keyframe again. At this pose, at the passing pose, we are going to put another keyframe. Alright, so select both these poses and bring the body a bit down. And at this pose, let's move it upwards a bit. Select the keyframes, easy as it. Also do the same, slightly give some rotation. At this point, we are going to rotate this word, not this much. Let's give it 2 degrees of rotation, and for this point, let's give it -1 degree of rotation. Let's copy the initial keyframe at this point and then just copy this loop expression and paste it over here in both the properties. Copy this rotation keyframe, select neck, head and body, paste it in all of these layers, press U to open the properties with keyframes and then slightly offset it by 2 frames. Okay, let's check out. Alright, so it's looking pretty nice. So now we are going to do the same for the hand as well. Let's animate the hands. So let's add another hose over here and name it hand 1. And we are going to put it over here, and let's adjust the position with respect to this hand 1. Okay, now let's parent hand with the end, and after that let's parent end with again with the start, and let's put the start layer at this point. So we're going to parent this with body. Okay, so now let's select the end at this point and put a position on position keyframe, move the end and put it over here. Let's put a rotation keyframe over here as well. Let's rotate it a bit, and then again jump onto the passing pose. Well, we don't need to put any keyframe on this passing pose, so we are going to put a keyframe at the end contact pose, and let's move the hand and put it over here. Let's make the path a bit curved. After that, again copy these keyframes and paste it over here and reverse the keyframe order, and again fix the path a bit. Select both the keyframes and erase it, and put the loop expression. Let's offset rotation from position and let's check out. Alright, so now we are going to select these keyframes and select these layers, go to manage and just again duplicate the hose, put it below hand 1 and copy the hand 1 as well and put it above this. Select the the end and parent it with hand 5. Select all this layer of this arm 2 and put it below over here, and let's delete this layer. So now let's move the start. Let's move the start and put it over here. So open the properties with keyframes and let's offset it by 12 frames and move it exactly at the middle. But before that, let's parent this hand with this one. So that is it for this lesson. Do try it on your own and do let me know in the comment section below if you have any doubts regarding it. If you liked it, then make sure to hit the like button. If you have any doubt regarding the lesson, make sure to comment down. I will be happy to help you out. And if you are here for the first time, make sure to subscribe the channel and hit the bell notification button to stay notified for all future updates. Until then, goodbye.